listen.
You know, Doc lived to be 93, a really ripe old age for a legend. And I can tell you, I wish I was up here tonight just once so I could give Andy Iron just an award when he's 93. We'll be happy with just doing it with Doc. The Lifetime Achievement Award was created in order to recognize individuals who have used their life work to contribute to the world of surfing. Doug Craig, who made this film, and we're about to look at, has made many other films, and let's take a look right now at Doc Paskowitz's video.
All of my life, I've been afraid of dying. I went to a party once and the soothsayer said, "You will live a great life, but you'll die very young." And at that time I was 16. So I thought, well, at 18, I'm going to die. When I did die at 18, I thought it was 28. When I didn't die at 28, I thought it was 38. Now, since I'm past 88, would you believe it? I don't give a shit.
We welcome you here today on behalf of a man who is glorious. In our tradition, we give them a new name, Champet Mot, Ocean Brother. A great name today.
First, Doc is a surfer, then a Jew, then a doctor. There's nothing more in his whole life that was more important than surfing. Nothing. He came at a time to the surfing culture when it was still being born and still being raised.
He's one of the last tribal elders. He was father to a lot of us younger guys growing up.
He was definitely geared toward, getting us out of the norm.
And he was unconventional on everything.
Very outspoken.
Doc was just very, he said whatever.
It's okay. It's a nigger. Good cut.
They say, watch how much you put in here.
He just very much wanted everyone to be healthy. I'm 75 years old, just had a double knee operation. I'm still surfing, and I probably wouldn't have done a lot of things if it wasn't for his counsel and his support, his friendship.
You know, the best thing about Doc, he was an encourager. Doc's life can't be separated from his partnership with Juliet and what their family has accomplished.
I had some really deep family stuff going on, and I would say I would talk about the Brooks family. And what that means is watching Paskowitz's family and how they interact and help me with the things that I have.
This huge pack would show up at the beach in a camper, and these people kept getting out of the camper, and I was just like, oh my gosh, what is that? Is that like Friends or something? And I found out, no, it's the Paskowitz family.
He didn't care what society said about it. He didn't care what his family said about it. He just did what in his heart he felt was right.
Dorian took the Hippocratic oath to heart. I solemnly consecrate my life to the service of humanity.
Anytime I wanted advice, I called Doc, always picked up and always had the most amazing things to say, always put me right with myself.
He was just there for everyone and helped get people more involved and happy about life.
Maybe you see the possibilities of living your life that want to live. And he did that for a lot of people. To me, that
that was a challenge to be that special person that he said I was. You know, it's like, you're this person. I'm like, oh God, really? Okay, I'll try.
We both knew he had me done. Nobody ever had more sparkle in their eye or smile on their face. It was infectious. It made you feel that way too. Maya Angelou said, you know, you often forget what someone says and what someone did, but you never forget how they made you feel. And Doc made you feel good. Actually, he made you feel grand. And no one who ever knew him will ever forget that.
He just gave a crap so deeply. He made me feel so important. He used to say, son, you're my hero.
The most important person in my whole life.
What you learn from Doc is the reverence of the ocean.
He knew what that power was.
He always imparted upon me, if life ever got you someplace where you didn't feel, you know, that there was an easy, you know, direction, just go to the ocean. It's just something magical happened.
They're affected by him in such a way that they have to come here. They have to be here.
It's amazing to think that forces in nature that powerful can actually cease.
He's up there with the greats now, and I could just imagine them all out there having a good time.
I mean, we all want to pick up the phone and say, Doc, you got to get down here. This is epic. You're missing a great party.
Right now, my heart is broken. I have to see other sites, maybe to kind of like distract me. And that's where you taught me. You know, whenever things would be rough or get me in trouble or get me worried about something, just get in the front seat and drive. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get in the front seat and drive.
Generally speaking, what I see in my heart, what I've seen with my eyes and my life experience, I don't see myself as legendary in that narrative. And I think probably the legacy will go something like this. Hey, you know guys, Doc Paskowitz passed away. Oh really? You know, he was a nice guy. I think that's about it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Doc Paskowitz was a giant among the pioneers of modern 20th century surfing. And what can definitively be said about Doc was that he was exceptionally unique as an individual in the surfing world, maybe in the whole world. It's unlikely that there'll ever be a story like Doc's crafted about his life. He had a grand dream to
to live a surfing life where the quality of experience was more important than the quantity of possessions. And from that standpoint, he was one of our greatest successes. Doc's life has been chronicled many times in many places. Born to a Russian Jew immigrant family in 1921 in Galveston, Texas. A San Diego lifeguard from 1937 to 1941. A graduate of Stanford Medical School. Fell in love with surfing. Fell in love with Juliet. Sired 9 children. Decided the medical profession wasn't his passion. Visited his roots in Israel. Introduced surfing there in 1956. Returned to California. Moved his whole family into an oversized camper. And spent the next 25 years living and helping to invent the surfing bohemian lifestyle. If this sounds like a Hollywood movie, it was. A 2007 documentary, Surfwise, chronicled the Paskowitz saga. I met Doc in 1974, the year that Joshua was born. My first recollection of Doc was him holding Joshua on his shoulders as the family watched a contest that I was covering. Always teaching and always preaching the value of health, Doc wrote a column for me at Surfer Magazine about health and surfing, and that subject remained a passionate theme throughout his entire life. I stayed with the family on the Big Island, on the East Coast in Oahu, where Doc did stints as a physician, a college professor, and an author. And although he didn't invent the genre, it would be safe to say that Paskowitz Surf Camp serves as a model for almost everything that would come after it in the form of surf instruction. Ardently dedicated to peace and how surfing was a method of achieving it, Doc co-founded Surfing for Peace, a nonprofit organization in 2007 with Kelly Slater. Doc and his family brought surfers from both sides of the Middle Eastern conflict together to show how the unity of surfing could be achieved. In the end, though, it was simply his matchless personality that was the hallmark of his life. If the sparkle in an eye with a grin on a face is the mark of a vital being, then Doc Paskowitz was the most vital man to grace our century. He always held court at San Onofre like a reigning kahuna, and he would always speak to people like, 1, they were the most important person in the region, 2, like they were his best friend, and 3, as if the passionate point that he was just about to make was crucial for you to pass on to everyone in the world immediately. I used to tease Doc sometimes saying, Doc, it's okay to have 9 kids, and it's okay to be a surf bum, but it's not okay to do both. But you know, in the end, I think I was the one who was mistaken, because as amazing as it seems in this hyper-competitive 21st century, these 8 brothers and their sister have been remarkably successful at a surprising range of careers. Musicians, gourmet chefs, surf brand moguls, teachers, artists, world champions, philanthropists, coaches, businessmen, and now, even a major Hollywood film screenwriter. Now, there's 2 things I can say about this family. No offspring ever loved their father more than this clan, and his loving wife, Juliet, I think she's marked for surfing sainthood. So this Lifetime Achievement Honor goes not only to Doc, but to his entire remarkable family. The first family of surfing. I'd like them all to just stand up and be recognized on this special night of theirs.